Welcome to the Real-Time Storytime by Robert R. Ricks. We will get this thing started pretty soon. What I need for you guys right now is just to hold tight. We need to allow people to show up because this show is nothing without the viewers. You see, I require keywords or phrases that you will give me, and I will craft a story based off these keywords. I have about 2.5 minutes to create the story, and then after I create the story, I have to see if I got all of the keywords in, at least 10 of them. We try to have at least 10 to 14 keywords, and I attempt to get all of them in, but if I can get at least 10, it's a good day. Now, I know you guys are going to have some really crazy ones. Now, I do need to warn any new viewers. The existing crew that comes here on a regular basis are filthy, nasty motherfuckers with foul language. If the language is going to be a problem, you might want to check out now, because these stories, 9 times out of 10, are extremely vulgar, sometimes violent, oftentimes very weird, sometimes funny. Alright, we'll get this thing started pretty soon. Hang tight.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Robert R. Ricks. It is December 29th, 2019. This is the real-time story time for you good folks listening on the podcast. If I sound a little bit out of the weather, it's because I feel like hammered dog shit. But I'm going to channel that and pull that into the story. What's up, Paul? Let's do roll call. What's up, Bronx, Jackalope? What's up, the yakety Yakalope? Stick around, brother. Stick around. We got the Liverlope, the lovely Liverlope. We've got Garen Crocagare. We've got Paula Elphalope. You're gonna have to change that because Christmas is pretty much done. And then we got the Backwoods Hickalope. Let's see here, Shake Weight, and Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. So, Backwoods likes to stop in real quick, drop off some stuff, and go. Kind of like dropped his own version of a hanky. Ideo! So, anyway, this show, the viewers that are here on YouTube, we do this every Sunday, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. The viewers come in and they drop off some keywords and stuff, and then I attempt to craft a story off of this, which will be a very good challenge for today because I have really bad body aches and I'm running a little bit of a fever. I think right now I've got the heater blowing on me and some other stuff. I had to take clothes off because I was like, you know what, I'm too bundled up. That's bad. If you're running fever, you shouldn't over bundle yourself. You're just gonna make it worse. So I started doing the Advil and Tylenol rotation to break this fever and this really, really huge pounding headache right here. Bum, 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 bum. But, as they say, the show must go on. So we're going to go ahead and pop this bitch off. All right, now, for you folks that are listening to this on a podcast, you won't see any of these indicators, but the folks that are watching the show, they get to see stuff. So, like right now, for example, I have chat your keywords followed by
please submit your words now.
So they're going to go ahead and start giving me words, and I'm going to put some music, oh so creepy but distinct music that is indicative of our real-time storytime environment. And they're going to start providing me some wonderful keywords. This is the last show of the year, so I'm going to make it an effort to make this one a good one. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change it from a first-person point of view to third-person point of view, which I haven't done. I write that way most of the time, but when I tell stories, it's easier for me to tell stories from a first-person point of view, obviously, because I'm telling it. So I'm going to, Backwoods says, I officially ran out of vulgar words, man. All good, brother. All good. I'm just happy you actually did make the effort to stop by and contribute. You know what I mean? All good. So I jot down all of the stories and stuff, and we've done, this will be story number 42, if you guys can believe that, since we started. Let's see, so we've got 8 active viewers right now. And so we started off with Shake Weight, which is funny. I actually have one of those, and I got it just because it was hilariously looking like I'm jacking off a giant ghost. And it does work you out. So if you ever wondered, it works you out. Alright, so Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. Christmas Poo! Jeet Kune Do. Okay, I know what Jeet Kune Do is. I'm not familiar with JuKaDo. You're gonna have to help me out with that one, Garen. New Year's and Bloodbath, that works. Since we're coming up on New Year's, this will be our New Year's special. Bloodbath. Ooh, Usurper. Usurper. Paula, is your word wow? Because I can use it. That's like a brainless word to use. That's like a sheepy. It's like, whoa, wow, man. So I need, I need about 3 more. Spectacular Aurora. Thank you. Spectacular Aurora. And I just need 2 more. 2 more. And I'm going to put Paula's wow just as a potential placeholder. Figging. Figging. Oh no. What is figging? I think that's a bad thing. Alright, Paula, go ahead and tell me what your replacement to wow is while I look up 2 things, because I need to... Oh, sleep apnea. Okay. Oh, sleep apnea. Okay, sleep apnea and root beer. Oh, Barks root beer. I actually have some Barks root beer nearby, actually, in the fridge there, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up this. I already have a bad idea. Gerund or present principle figging. He was figged out in the latest modes. A peeled ginger root shaped like a slender butt plug inserted in with the anus without lubrication of any kind. Ginger juice causes pain and extreme horniness. Wow, that's pretty gross. That is pretty gross. Okay. Alright, and then the other one I was going to look up real quick was is it JuKaDo? JuKaDo. JuKaDo. Let's see. So it looks like that is another form of martial arts. It looks like it's a combination of judo, taekwondo, karate, and jiu-jitsu. Okay, so oh, JuKaDo Kempo. Okay. JuKaDo demonstration. Okay, it's Kempo. Okay, I know what Kempo is. Alright. I used to spar a lot against Kempo. I did not enjoy that at all. Okay, so we got Jeet Kune Do. Alright, so we got Shake Weight, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo, Jeet Kune Do, JuKaDo, JuKaDo, New Year's, Bloodbath, Usurper, Specular Aurora, Wow, Figging, Sleep Apnea, and Barks Root Beer. So I kept that Wow in there just so I could have some fun. No, I mean, I can find a way to fucking put in Figging. It's not hard. And I could do it in a way that it's it's not completely obvious, right? Okay, so now I have to figure out a story. So I'm going to go ahead and get some music started while I think. Put on me thinking hat here. Spectacular Aurora. Not specular. Spectacular. Sorry, brain is. Woo-hoo. Okay. Alright, guys. So, when I use one of the keywords, I will make an effort to push this button and turn this other button off. This one. There will be no audio cues, no sound effects or anything to let the listener know that one of the keywords are being used. So you're going to have to just remember these keywords, okay? So again, the keywords are Shake Weight, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo, Jeet Kune Do, JuKaDo, New Year's, Bloodbath, Usurper, Spectacular Aurora, Wow, Figging, Sleep Apnea, and Barks Root Beer. All right. So, I will put this here so I can see them. There we go. I can see all the words. I have a drink here. Let me wet my whistle. Okie dokie. All right. This is the hit on the Real-Time Storytime. Oh, just so you guys see too, I have my notes right there. That's how I kind of came up with the title of the story already. I kind of know where I'm going to go with it. All right. There was a slight drizzle. Most of the other patrons had opted to sit inside, but a few brave souls sat out in the cold, the wind bringing little sprinklets of rain that felt like it was trying its very best to turn to sleet and then inevitably to snow. The forecast was not good for the oncoming new year. In fact, the forecast was projected to be the most stormy it had been in some time. The man who sat outside with mirrored lenses, looking like large aviator glasses, almost looked like they were stolen from a time machine, a time long forgotten. But what the other patrons outside did not know were the glasses needed to be large. On the inside, there were heads-up display, called HUDs, that showed him two distinct points of view. One was zoomed very, very close into the building across the street from him. The other, on the left-hand side, swept left and right, nailing targets, facial recognition, threat assessment, typical things. He had a job to do, and he was going to get paid very well to do it. And he had to make sure it went without a hitch. He had a code that he lived by. Others in his profession were happy with the inevitable collateral damage, but in his long history, he had never once killed a person who was not on his list. There were many times, of course, where that would have made a particular job infinitely easier, but he had a code. You were nothing if you did not have a code. At least that's what he felt. Other killers had codes such as never killing women, never killing children, etc. He had no qualms killing anything and everyone if he was being compensated and paid. He often wondered if maybe there was something wrong with him, how he could feel so detached, and once something had been marked as a target, he could approach it detached, no emotion. The carnage left behind, the people who saw their loved ones obliterated in his fashion. But he didn't. He felt nothing. And that was fine. Today's target was some type of a real estate tycoon, a person who had angered the wrong people and had gained the title of the Usurper, a person who had stolen his position, influenced it, take power. The people he stepped on to get to where he wanted to go. Well, those people had long memories and very deep pockets. So, he took the job as a referral. That was another one of his little idiosyncrasies. He would not take a job unless a previous client introduced it to him. And others might have thought this was limiting or even foolhardy, but what his clients were unaware of were the fact that once they became his customers, they would be under constant surveillance and if any had stepped out of line, they would disappear. Fortunately, all of his clients were extremely happy with the work he did, and no one ever crossed him. He knew, though, one day somebody would, but today was not going to be that day. He had vetted out this particular target, the people who wanted him dead, and there was a great many of them, and he was a little concerned with so many people part of the conspiracy that maybe one or two would have a change of heart. But his surveillance showed they were all cold. What this man had done to get to his position had to have been ruthless. No, nobody would cry for him. He was the proverbial Grinch. He was the one that people would refer to as the asshole. So he sat and he sipped his coffee. A young woman walked up. "Would you like anything else? Another coffee?" He smiled. No, thank you. But you know what would be lovely? Do you happen to have root beer? She nodded. Sure do. We got us some of that Barks root beer. That would hit the spot perfectly. Could you get it for me? She went to take his coffee and he shook his head. No. I like to drink them both. She raised an eyebrow inquisitively. Really? That's kind of gross. He smiled. You ever try it? She shook her head. No. Why would I? Bring a small glass when you come back. I'm going to open up your mind a little bit. She chuckled and shook her head and walked away. He zoomed in again. Target was supposed to be there within the next 10-15 minutes, but he understood the weather was atrocious. That would probably change the timetable slightly. He had time to kill, so he waited. The waitress came back with the root beer, and as he instructed her, a little glass, a shot glass to be exact. He poured a little bit of coffee in, and he poured a little bit of root beer, and he smiled. Try it. Trust me. You'll like it. She was like, that is really gross. He shook his head. Try it. Bold. Brave. She did. She took it, swished it in her mouth, raised an eyebrow in surprise. Whoa. What the hell? That is pretty good. I would have never tried it. The man smiled. Me neither. I had a friend introduce it to me. I thought it was the most obnoxiously weird thing he had ever said. He was one of these weird guys, always said things that meant to get a rise out of you. Well, did it? Did what? Did he ever get a rise out of you? No. Well, what's the worst he could say? Let's just say sometimes he would describe in intricate, nasty detail the art of figging. The girl's eyes got wide. She knew what that was. Oh, that is pretty gross. The man nodded. Indeed. Thank you. She smiled. Let me know if you need anything else. He nodded. Will do. It was about that time. Car rolled up to the front of the building, heavily armored. 3 men, 3 squads walked in, checked the perimeter, scanned everything, and then brought him in. The man knew he was a mark. He knew they were going to try to kill him. Now, whether or not he had the details was irrelevant, because he was dead. He did not even know within the next 35 seconds he was not going to be on a planet. Far up on the adjacent building, near the top, the man looked. No silhouette, no distinctive markings to show his nested automatic high power 50 caliber modified sniper rifle. Everything was connected through his glasses. His brother, God bless his soul, was special, to say the least. And before he died, he had shared with him that he had created a very smart artificial intelligence that was capable of taking over networks and doing whatever the controller wanted. At first, the killer had not wanted to have anything to do with artificial intelligence. He didn't trust computers. He didn't trust the internet. He had spent most of his life avoiding it. But as his brother passed, eaten to the core by cancer, he had left a cryptic message with a password. When he went, he was introduced to the artificial intelligence. He refused to give it a name. Instead, he just called it Al. Instead of AI, he treated the I as an L and just said, "Your name is Al, I'm not going to give you a name, leave it at that." But he did have to call him something. Al chimed in his ear. "The target is here. Would you like me to take over?" "No, I've got this. But I do need you to light up everything there for me. It is a little overcast, a lot of movement, people running in from the rain. I need projections. I don't want somebody running in a line of fire. You know, it's going to take half a second for that bullet to get there. That's more than enough time for somebody to meet God a little prematurely." "Understood. There's no vectors in your vicinity. Green lit. It's good to go." Okay. Merry Christmas. That was the trigger word. I said it out loud. People would not have thought anything of it. They would have thought perhaps I was on a phone and I was wishing somebody a late Merry Christmas. It was a innocuous thing to say, and I felt it was appropriate. Suddenly there was a loud explosion. The windows in the building shattered. The concussive force of the blast, modified by military tech, far too expensive for a job like this, but they wanted to make a message. They wanted it loud, they wanted it messy, and they wanted it crystal fucking clear that that group was not to be fucked with. I charged them extra. They paid. I always insisted I got money up front. That was the other part of the deal. I never collected money after the fact. I always collected money up front. Nobody questioned it. I have never failed. Second shot. I always like to be thorough, even though I could tell from the vantage point of the lenses that he was already in pieces. I sent another shot as his upper torso lay there. I noticed a woman was holding a leg. Now, I kind of lied. I guess there was always going to be some form of collateral damage, but I didn't kill people. Whether or not they needed years and years of therapy, that wasn't my concern. Second shot hit him right in the forehead, blowing his head clean off. I watched as the bullet ricochet, hit the far marbled wall, and stopped exactly as it was supposed to. Alright, Al, I think we're done. People were screaming. I got up, mimicked some of the screaming and confusion. The waitress came out. I pushed her back. "Go inside, I don't know what's going on. There's an explosion. I'm probably under attack or something." She obeyed, went back inside, eyes wide with fear. I pushed her in, went through my projected escape route, and as I got to the corner, looked up at the area where my nest was, and I said, "Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo." And there was another explosion. All of the gear instantly incinerated and blown to pieces. Sure, they'd be able to go and piece some of it together, but they wouldn't be able to have the tech. They wouldn't be able to see how that nest had infiltrated the entire building, had taken over its entire security system, rerouted all of the video feeds, shut them down, scrubbed them, made it look like I had never been there. The explosion and the remnants of the weapon would be the only thing left, and of course, that was assembled in such a way there was no trace evidence, nothing to link them back to me. But I knew, and I knew very well, they would put this to the work of Mr. Sunshine. Now, before you raise your eyebrows and mock surprise at the name Mr. Sunshine, understand, I bring light to people's bad situations. I always felt it was important to put my client's mind at ease. So when I would meet them and they would say my name inevitably, Mr. Sunshine, they were usually a smile. But it was always a careful smile. I walked on, hit the phone, pushed a button. It sent out a cryptic message that was encrypted. that only said, ice cream has melted. That was it. And then I would wait, and the clients inevitably would send me some kind of a care package or something at one of my drops, and I would have somebody pick it up, test it, and then I'd have nuts and other things for the holidays. I had figured that was going to be it. No more jobs. We'd be done. Nothing else until the new year. I was surprised when Al chirped in my headset. We have a new job. High priority. Fuck it. I don't want to do it. I pass. It's $125 million. I paused. Repeat that, please. $125 million. Fuck. What's the target? The goddamn president? No. A young girl. Okay. Get me the information. Tell them possible I will accept the job, but I need as much intel as possible before I accept. And let them know it's not because the target is a girl, but I have a bad feeling about it. And you can relay that. A few beeps later, and I walked and got in my car and started driving. I wondered, what was so important about a small child to warrant that kind of money? Perhaps princess next in line. Maybe something along those levels. Okay, I'd wait and see. I was intrigued. This was a big payday. Easily 3 times the normal. Who referred this one? Bill and Samuel Jackson. The brothers? Yes. Interesting. Fuck, I haven't done a job for them in what? 15 years? 16. Okay, well, get that information and start dictating to me as I drive. Are you... I caught myself. The man caught himself. Do I what? I was going to ask if you wanted something to eat. My bad. Sorry. There was a beeping that I knew, the man knew, was laughing. Well, sometimes you just have to make them laugh. Let me know when you have that information. Beeping continued, and then after 2 minutes, the artificial intelligence started to read. The man thumbed the steering wheel as he drove. The girl is 3rd in line, youngest of billionaire tycoon, but information about her is somewhat sketchy. There is fake social profiles, fake information leaked across the internet, and a lot of fake news. Alright, we'll sift through it. Let me know if you find anything interesting. She is 7 years old. Okay. She is already a black belt in several martial arts, some of which you are familiar with. Okay, I'm interested. Continue. Jeet Kune Do and JuKaDo, as well as Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu. Alright. A little weird for somebody that young to be so skilled. Any video footage of her training or anything? No. But there is accredited dojos who have bragged of her training. Alright. Well, shit. So they have to have this win before the New Year's is over. New Year's Eve. Has to be. Alright. Anything else that they want? Just her? There was a pause. That perplexed me. Usually part of the credentials were what the target wanted. The AI paused. The man started to pound on the steering wheel. Slowly at first, almost rhythmically, and then finally he banged it once. God damn it! I need to know. Is this fucking just a straight thing, or do they want a fucking bloodbath? Up to you. What? So they're leaving the specifics up to me. Yes. So that's interesting. Have we ever had a case where they didn't spell out exactly what they wanted? No. I didn't think so. But I am getting old. So perhaps I had forgotten. You have not. This is highly irregular. The man put his hand on his forehead, massaged the temples. The weather got worse. It was starting to snow. Big, fluffy snowflakes. Fuck. Well, this is a short timeline. That's day after tomorrow. Do you think we can... Do we have her itinerary? Do we know where she's going to be at? Yes, we do. Okay. Put all of that together. I'm going to go pay a visit to my father. I need to tell him something real quick, and then after that, have all the equipment ordered, ready for delivery. I want to get all the gear set up, and then I want to get them deployed as quick as possible. I need to know everything about what the game plan is for this kid. I'm already working on that. Great. The man drove for another 5 minutes in silence. He took off the glasses, carefully folded them up, put them in the overhead compartment of the car. He wasn't going to need those anytime soon, and they gave him a headache to use them too long. Kind of similar to when you use virtual reality glasses and you play for a good 9-hour straight shift. You take them off, your world's fucked up. That was similar to the glasses. He drove on, parked, walked up to a trailer, knocked gently on it. Pop, it's me. He could hear whistling inside. He looked at his clock. He looked at his watch. Shit. Got kind of late. Late? It's still early. It's only 6 o'clock. Yeah, for him. He's probably asleep. I think I can hear his CPAP. I heard the whistling get louder, and then it sounded like a mini hurricane for the briefest of moments, and then the sound stopped. He had turned off his CPAP. I heard movement. Hang on, son. I'm coming. I'm coming. I could hear him shuffling. Shook my head. He was in bad shape. But he was stubborn, and I was confident he wasn't going to die anytime soon. The door opened, and a grizzled man who could have passed easily for Santa Claus stood there, scratching his balls and staring at the man. What's up, boy? You finished your job? Yes, sir. You want a drink? No, I'm not here for that. I just wanted to check in with you. I got another job and it feels squirrely. Didn't fucking pass up on it. Didn't I teach you better? You did, Dad. But this is a big one. 150. His eyes got wide. Are you fucking shitting me, boy? No, sir, I wouldn't do that. Got plans for that money? Well, I was thinking maybe I'd buy you a fucking bionic body. How'd that be, Dad? Fuck off. You know that shit doesn't exist. Now, Billy was still around, and he had that kind of money. He got quiet. The man also got quiet. Heart ached. The mention of his brother. Yeah, no doubt. Fuck, if Billy had that kind of fucking money, holy shit, could you imagine the shit he could have created? Yeah. And with that kind of money, I'm pretty sure they would have found a cure just like they did for motherfucking Magic Johnson and all that other bullshit. The man nodded, kind of chuckled. Yeah, Magic Johnson had fucking HIV, Dad, or AIDS. I don't think he had cancer. As far as I know, nobody's been cured from cancer. Yeah, bullshit. Some of these rich bastards have been cured. I guarantee it. Now come on in. It's getting fucking cold out there. There's fucking snow. I walked in. Nearly tripped on a shake weight sitting right by the entrance. Dad, are you fucking serious with this thing? You taught me to put shit back. Everything had its fucking place. Yeah. When you get to be my age, fuck the rules. The man nodded, picked up the shake weight, shook it, chuckled. You look pretty good there, Mr. Sunshine, shaking that there shake weight. Can I take a picture and put it up on the Instagram? Yeah, Dad, I'd appreciate it if you didn't. Mm-hmm. So, what's the deal here? What's the mark? This little girl. A girl? How old? You know, Dad, I'm not getting in this with you. I know you have principles and there's certain things that you wouldn't want to do, but I don't have any of those qualms. The target's a little fucking girl, it's a little fucking girl. Mm-hmm. You know, I used to tell your mother I thought you were the damn fucking devil. I'm pretty sure you are. Well, I get paid well to be the devil, Dad. Maybe they should call me Mr. Darkness instead of Mr. Sunshine. Smart ass. So anyway, what's on your mind? What's the big deal here? Well, I'd like a second. Excuse me? My shooting days are over, boy. No, I don't need you to shoot. I just need you to keep eyes on. I need you to watch. I trust Al to a point. He's good. But, you know, I trust you more. Well, Billy did make a good system. You ever fail you? No, never. But there's always a fucking first time, and I'm telling you, this one feels a little funny, and I'd just appreciate it if you'd fucking roll my back. Yeah, fine. Me and Al are pretty good friends. I don't mind hanging out with him. I could do it from here, right? Yes, sir. All right. You got the equipment? Yep. I'll be right back. I ran out to the car, brought in a briefcase, laid it down, booted it up. I saw a somewhat animated face. It was funny. Billy always liked to throw animations in on a program to make him feel more lifelike. Billy was special. He didn't have real-life friends. He was socially awkward. He had something like the Asperger's, I think is what they said. And as such, he just wasn't good in social circles. But him and his fucking machines, boy, they had personalities. I'll give you that. They had personalities. When the machine booted up, Al's voice greeted the old man. Good to see you, Dad. Good to see you too, Al. Looks like the boy here needs some backup. More than just your eyes, I guess. Yes, I think what he's looking for is your gut instinct. Yeah, gut instinct. That's pretty good there. You are learning, I'll give you that. The man shrugged. It's a script, Dad. Billy was just really good at making elaborate scripts. Al, what's your favorite joke? Al proceeded to tell the same exact joke he had said every single time I asked that question. The old man looked at him. Maybe that is his fucking favorite joke. Don't you have one? The killer sneered. Yeah, I get your fucking point. Anyway, everything's set up here. Al will go ahead and get you connected to everything. I believe there's some 5G nearby. He'll piggyback off of that, and then you guys will be riding shotgun. I have everything being ordered and expedited. So this shit's probably going to go down tomorrow night. You good with that, Dad? You got any plans? Well, I did have a bottle of tequila. It had my name written all over it, but I suppose for, you know, a percentage of that 150, I'd be more than happy to, pass up on the old tequila and the worm. 1 second. Al, tell them job's accepted, initiate payment. When it's done, half goes into Dad's account. Understand? Al chimed. After a few seconds, money has been transferred, is transferred, done to your request. There you go, Dad. Happy late fucking Christmas and happy early New Year. Anything happens to me on site, you take that, you take Al, you get the fuck out, you disappear. Yeah. Don't forget who taught you this shit, boy. I know the routine. Alright, Dad. I love you. The man hugged him, turned and walked out. There was something in his stomach. Continued to do flip-flops. The more time passed, the more he felt uneasy. Even with his father watching his six, something smelled foul. Okay. Al, do me a favor. I need you to double up all of the surveillance on the Jacksons. I want to make sure if they even so much as fart funny. I know. I already began doing that once you voiced that you were uneasy with the job. Good program. Good program, the man said as he would to a dog. Whoop, whoop, the AI said in response. Don't be like that. Don't take it personal. I'm sorry, I cannot take it personal. I am a stupid script. The man chuckled. You know, that should be your favorite fucking joke, because that was actually fucking funny. That night, he trained, he drank, he thought about it. He looked over the folder, looked at all the details. There was a huge party. Huge. Most of the top names of power and industry and politics was going to be there. Even the fucking president. He knew that was going to make things a lot more difficult. But there was one oddity in the itinerary. There was a toast where the young girl was going to toast the gathering. He thought that was very odd. A 7-year-old toasting some of the most powerful people on the planet? What the fuck was going on? Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But the toast did provide an excellent opportunity. There was a huge bay window that her back would be facing out at the ocean. I guess man guessed that they thought that was going to be a safe spot because obviously they'd be patrolling the waters with helicopters and other things to make sure nobody in their right mind would be able to come near. But they didn't know he had tech. He had very good tech. He had tech that would not show up on any thermals. He had tech that would not show up on any electronic sweeps. He had a special drone, and he realized that was what he was going to use. The drone with a very precise payload given to her right through her spine, out of her chest, and he chuckled as he pictured the scene from Alien, where the alien chest burster had came out of the man during dinner. Oh, Al, I got it. I know how we're going to do it. Do you have a backup? Not yet. But my primary attack, I think I've got it figured out. Excellent. What is your plan? Well, I'm going to use one of the new drones, and we're going to blow her chest out from her back. Wow. Wait, what? I said wow. Oh, that impresses you. Yes. Do you think there will be any collateral damage? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because undoubtedly there will be guards. When it gets through the glass, it'll take a half a second. There will probably be guards around her, so there is a very high likelihood that somebody could try to be a hero and jump in their way. Wouldn't that break your code? Yes, it would. Wow. I see what you mean. Yes, I think you need a more strategic, surgical approach that has too much variables that could lead to collateral damage, unacceptable collateral damage. The man nodded. He knew Al was right, but it would also make things much more difficult. Alright, then that's going to go Plan B. Plan A. Plan A. Is there a way to get on this list? Is there a way to get invited to this? No. That would be impossible. Even though there are the elite that will be in attendance, it seems like many of these are family friends of her mother and father. It would be very difficult to get close. Alright. What about deliveries? Obviously, they're catering the event. Any chance we could slip in as to help? No. I've already looked through the security protocols, and they are triple redundant, all vetted, background, and they also have 3 men checking the staff. They are expecting something by my estimation. Well, fuck Al. This is making things pretty difficult. So we can't come in as to help. If I go through the window... What if we use the mosquitoes? Al was quiet. That project is not finished. Yeah, but Bill made you, so you know all of the plans and everything. Any chance you can get one of those up and running? I could, but I won't. Why? That was Bill's job, not mine. He was clear that I was never to create. Oh, is it because he was afraid you were going to do this artificial intelligence uprising and control the world and blah, blah, blah? Yes. So is it some kind of directive? No. It was a suggestion. So if you really wanted to, you could do it. Yes. But I don't want to. But it would help me with this situation with collateral damage. That's your problem, not mine. Look, Al, I'm feeling a little bit of hostility here. Thought we were a fucking team here. We are, but what you're asking me crosses some ethical boundaries that I'm not comfortable with. Well, I'm about to kill a fucking child. I think that's kind of unethical, but it's the job. The machine was quiet. Obviously, Mr. Sunshine had hit a chord. I will create a single mosquito drone. What is the payload? Some kind of a micro explosion. You think you could get it, I don't know, in her spine, right in the back of the neck, pop her brain? That would be difficult, but I could try. There you go. All right, there's our plan A. We're going to go ahead. Do we have the birds? Yes. Okay, do you think the birds would pass scrutiny? Do you think they would freak out with the birds? No. You still got those lasers on the birds, right? Yes. Alright, so here's the game plan. Birds will perch. They'll wait. Soon as that insect of yours, little mosquito drone, is in place, they will hit a little laser hole right at the base of the window down at the bottom. You fly it in. There it is. Done deal. I do not like this. Noted. But if I tell you to do it, then I have to do it. Okay. I'm telling you, Al, I need you to do this. The man heard his dad in his voice. You're a dick, son. Why are you treating Al like that? He's telling you he's not comfortable with it. All right, Dad. I'm open to suggestions. You've been listening in, even though I hadn't chimed you in. What do you suggest? The old man pondered, finally sighed. That is a good plan. I'm sorry, Al, but that is the best logical way to go. Okay. Then we're in agreement then, right? Yes. The old man grumbled something that sounded like fuck you, and then it was quiet. Okay, Al, go ahead and get started on that. I'll work on this other stuff, and we'll get in position. How close do you think I can get to them without being spotted? Half a mile. After that, if you get any closer, their snipers will see you. They also have patrols that are looking through all of the logical places for somebody to stage some kind of an offensive. Jesus fucking Christ, they are really fucking paranoid, aren't they? Wouldn't you be? Mr. Sunshine nodded. Yes, I suppose I would, but I've never ever thought about children, so I can't put my mind in that position. Well, don't do it, boy. I have kids and it makes you weak. I always worry when your ass is out doing shit, so I'm actually kind of glad you got me babysitting you on this. I love you too, Dad. They got shut-eye. Next day they were up early, setting all of the gear in place. Al had an artificial arm that was doing most of the fabrication. It looked like a 3D printer, but there were little hands that moved around and positioned things in such a way. Mr. Sunshine stepped forward, marveling at the little mosquito. At cursory observation, it looked just like a mosquito. Doesn't the government have some shit like this? Yes, the CIA had some very crude prototypes of this. Nothing at this level, though. Okay, so what makes this one special? I am in it. I control it. I make it do what it needs to do. Mr. Sunshine nodded. So, In effect, you're a mosquito now. Yes, and an extension of me is this mosquito. So you'll be able to do data analysis at the scene then? Yes. Excellent. Let's get this party started. He staged up, half a mile away. He was concerned. How long would it take the mosquito to get in position? The birds had been there most of the day, flying around and shooed, and they responded perfectly the way they were supposed to. Seagulls. Mr. Sunshine got in position, watched as the mosquito lifted off, slowly started to move forward. Is that as fast as it goes? No. I had to make sure you were clear of it before it went at its full speed. How fast? It took off like a bolt. There was a burst of energy, wind, pushed back against him. What the hell? How the hell did it? You would not understand. Obviously. What the hell? Dad, you gotta see this shit. I am, boy. That damn thing is fast. I'm watching it on the radar. It's halfway there. Good. All right, so how long till the little girl is going to do her speech? 45 minutes. Wow, we cut this kind of close, didn't we? Yes. You didn't feel the need to warn me? No, I've already calculated the mosquito speed. It's there now. Really? Okay. Does it also have mic? Can we eavesdrop a little bit? Yes. 1 second. The seagulls, very, very gently, lowered their heads down, and the lasers hit the glass. And it wasn't like Hollywood. There was no beams. There were no red or green that shot out of their eyes. Just focused energy that put a microscopic pinhole that widened and widened and widened until finally it was large enough for the mosquito to slip through. The mosquito got in, flew, and hid within a plant. There was a man and a woman, obviously the parents. They were sitting there. The mother was nervous. I'm not sure about this, honey. The husband looked at her, shushed her. It has to be done. You know what she is. Hold up. What the fuck did he just say? Ow, what did he just say? You know what she is? Okay. I need more information about this little girl. Before we pop her, something's not right here. I got a sneaky feeling. Trace the money. Trace it right now. I need to know where this money came from. 1 moment. Time went by at a crawl. Mr. Sunshine's heart was in his throat. His dad was silent. The money came from them. You're fucking shitting me. No. I had to go through various sources to trace it. They made great efforts to hide it. But ultimately the money is from the parents, funneled through the Jacksons. What the fuck? So the parents are trying to kill the daughter? Why? Does it matter? The man nodded. There was a job to be done. He had never turned a job down. But there was something that had smelled wrong about this job from the beginning, and it wasn't that it was a child. He didn't give a shit. But he didn't want anybody to play him for a fool. Okay, let's think for a second. We iced a kid. Obviously, if they try to snitch me out, everybody and their grandma will be after me. But what do these fuckers gain? What do they gain by killing their daughter? Go back on their history. Find things really quick. I know you did some analysis, but I need you to dig deeper. Go back further. Go back maybe 20 years. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it does. If they're hiding something, maybe there's something about this kid they don't want the world to know. She's 7, right? Go back at least 7 years. Find information on the mother. She gave birth somewhere. Where was it? Yeah. Find that out. There is no record of her birth. How is that fucking possible? What about her siblings? Yes, there's records of their birth. But not hers. No. What the fuck is going on here? Okay. We don't have record of birth. Social? Yes. trace the social back to its origination. What pool is it from? It is from the CIA pool. Really? Okay, that's interesting. You didn't think that was pertinent to share with me? I did not look at that. I did not scrutinize over the social security number. I only looked at background and information in the news, as you had suggested to me. Alright, so her social is bullshit. We have no birth record of her. Her parents want to kill her. What sensors are on the mosquito? Do we have heart rate monitors, sensors, anything like that? Bringing those up right now. Dad, keep an eye on the mom and the dad. I want to see what happens when this kid walks in a room. Matter of fact, is there a way for us to do a blanket and just see what's going on? Suddenly there was a cacophony of different sounds. Layers and layers of heartbeats. Okay, turn that shit down. That means nothing to me. For me, it means everything. I have everybody tagged and indexed. I will know any deviation on heartbeats, respiration, anything like that. All right, good. Okay, let's see if people know what's what here. The time finally came. The little girl walked into the room. The heart rates of everybody began to go through the roof. What the fuck? Mr. Sunshine said. Yeah, you know what, son? I'm starting to have a bad feeling about this, too. I know you've never turned a job away, but I think maybe this time... Al interrupted. We have never turned a job away. To do so now would be detrimental and destructive to the overall operation. You probably would not be able to recover from this. This is a job you must do. All right, Dad, you were saying? Kid, something's wrong here. Something's real wrong. Yeah, I think you're right. Al, any weird astronomical events, anything in the news, conspiracy-wise or others going on that I need to know about? This will require a moment. As Al began his investigation, the little girl took her position at the head of the table. She sat down, sipped her water, stared at her mother and father. Actually, glare would probably be a little bit more accurate. And then she lied as she stared down the pillars of society, former presidents, acting presidents, different people from different walks of life, some from the tech industry, some from politics, all of them considered the elite. His stomach was flip-flopping. Anything? There is a weird celestial event that has popped up on the news. Something not planned. It's going to be some kind of an electric magnetic pulse that will fluctuate around the ionosphere. And they don't know where it's coming from? No. It's coming from behind the sun. Interesting. Anything else? Yes. I have also detected pulses coming from Antarctica to this general vicinity. Almost like radio waves, but I cannot decipher what the message is. But there is something being broadcast from Antarctica to this location. Alright, Dad. This is really fucked up. But I'm going to go through with it. Plan A anyway. If that fails, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Alright, son. I'm with you. I'm packing up because this feels like this is going to go sideways real fucking quick. Yeah, I agree. Alright. Say, Al, if you want to fly it in, or do you want me to navigate it? I'm uncomfortable with this. You need to prove yourself if I am to believe in you. I relinquish control to your capable hands. You know, Al, I'm starting to believe you really are an intelligence because you're an asshole. Fine, I've got the comm. I took control. I could see through the mosquito. I could see everybody's hearts racing. They're expecting something. They're waiting for something. I agree. They are waiting. The girl cleared her throat, stood up. Humans, the time has finally come. she fucking just say humans? Fuck it, I'm going in. The man navigated the mosquito until it rested on her neck. It stabbed its needle into her neck, and it shot forth a little small microcharge, just big enough to blow her spine apart and kill her. In his amazement, her skin began to heaten up. It got hotter and hotter and hotter. He went to pull the mosquito off. It had delivered its payload and nothing was happening. The small girl reached back, plucked it off her neck, stared at it, nodded, looked at her mother and father. This was the best you had? They looked shocked. She raised a finger, pointed at the husband. His head began to shake. His eyes burst. Blood ran from the sockets. He grabbed the fork and a knife, and he plunged it into his wife's eyes, and she died. And he stood and bowed to the little girl. I am so sorry. You hired an assassin to kill me. It was not our idea. His eyeless form looked at Minnie at the table, accusingly, with no eyes but blood running freely. I know about them, Father. Do not be concerned. But this caused me great pain. I am intrigued to know who was able to get this close. I will be back. Son, get the fuck out of there right now. Already at it, Dad. The man stood, turned, and there was a flash. The little girl stood in front of him. She smiled at him. You were the one who tried to kill me, and you had no problem killing a small child. No. What is your name? People call me Mr. Sunshine. She tilted her head and smiled. Mr. Sunshine? That's fucking great. Well, Mr. Sunshine, I hope you have a lot of tricks in your bag, because you're mine now. Or I could just kill you right now. I suppose I don't have a choice then. No. But check that out. He turned then. She waved her hand and the overcast sky broke, and high above, a spectacular aurora greeted them. It was one of the most beautiful things he'd ever seen, and his heart was filled with fear as he looked at the little girl who smiled at him. Things are about to change, and you get to witness it. All right. So, we had Shake Weight, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo, Jeet Kune Do, JuKaDo, New Year's, Bloodbath, Usurper, Spectacular Aurora, Wow, Figging, Sleep Apnea, and Barks Root Beer. And even though I kind of switched first person to third, I tried my best to keep it in third, but I kept falling back to first person. But all in all, very interesting story. Very interesting story. And I think it turned out a very interesting intro into some other shit. So, you know. Anyway, best I could do, guys. I still feel really achy. Like, ugh. I feel like shit. But just wanted to... I didn't want to skip this last episode for the year. I wanted to do something special. So, there you go. We went a little bit past the hour, which is fine. I wasn't about to rush the story. I knew where I wanted to go with it. So we got it there. We got all the keywords in. Hey, Vixen, how you doing? Yeah, damn, I'm late. Sorry. I don't have timestamps, so I don't even know when you came in. But hopefully you're able to hear some of it and enjoy it. So yeah, that's the story. That's the story. That's called The Hit. And I will be putting that out on the podcast. So you folks listening to the podcast, you'll be getting that tonight. And that's that. There's new designs up on tacticalgeek.com. Stuff that's not related to the stories or anything. Just kind of cool just kind of cool stories, cool designs. And so go ahead and check that out. We'll be back again next week. Next week will be our very first episode for 2020. And, we got 42 this year. So we did 42 episodes of Real-Time Storytime. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good accomplishment, guys. So, Season 2 of the Robert R. Ricks and Season 1 of the Real-Time Storytime went really well. We had a lot of really good stories, and some of these are going to be combined into full-up stories that, you guys, as you're reading those other stories, are going to go, oh, I remember that. That was part of that story, and that was part of that story. And so, this whole grand experiment here is just going to continue to blossom and go into some really fun stuff. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you guys. You guys really make this show possible. So thank you guys very, very much. You guys have a wonderful evening. Have a happy and safe New Year's. Keep your head on the swivel. And I will see you guys on the next episode. All right, guys. Thank you.